So I kind of look tired today, but I still want something to share. So today was a very different day in my life, and what happened is in the morning and I was sleeping just like a baby. Okay, I mean, I had what I for the past couple of days I have been really mentally not feeling so well as I have shared in yesterday's video, and today also, I mean since yesterday night I am kind of feeling all right. Okay, so since I was feeling okay, I was in a good mood. I thought about, I actually have an aquarium with me. Okay, I mean, I just adopted it as an hobby. So I thought about, I was very excited during the night before sleeping that I would wake up in the morning and I would be doing some aquascaping stuff, right? And I might look a little bit messy today. I have a story behind that. So, uh, what actually happened is I woke up in the morning, everything was fine, and then I um, um, got a news, and the news was that my mother somehow slipped. My mom slipped on the floor, and had her hand outstretched and had it broken. So I went. So I was busy with her the whole day. I took her to the hospital, and there's long queues. And despite all those things, yeah, they did the plaster and everything's done for now. So that's a good thing. It's consumed the whole, the right. But enough. Any I don't know, but I was like a bit triggered by it psychologically. I don't know. My nervous system is very sensitive at certain times. And what eventually happened is I, throughout the day, was very tired. Obviously, because it is frustrating when you're not habituated to stand still in long queues for hours and hours and hours. And I was like standing for at least like 4 to 5 hours, going from this department to this department. And finally, got the X-ray. There's a minor, the heart minor. I wouldn't say cracked. The bone was broken, and she will be fine in just 1.5 months. So that is not something which I'm going to talk about, right? But um, yeah, I don't know. Nowadays, I experience this thing where some days I feel very different. Today I feel very different. Tomorrow I feel completely different of a person. The day after that I feel completely different of a person. I don't know. Internally, the overall subjective experience is very different from day to day, and from one day to another day, the subjective experience um, varies a lot. All right, and to the point where in certain places it just does not connect well. So I feel very depersonalized with myself, and it is a struggle. It is something which it is unpleasant, and that is something which you do not want to be happening with your everyday life. Because imagine that you want to do something today, and because of something tomorrow you're no longer interested to do that thing, right? And I have an explanation for it which is very simple, is that all those people who have ADHD, they have a problem with attention shifting. So what happens is, for a person who has an ADHD brain, that person starts to work on something. Now, it will take some longer periods of time for that person. So, it's 10 a.m. again, and I was interrupted. Uh, Regardless of that, let's continue. So, for a person who has ADHD, that person who has this ADHD brain, that person struggles to switch their attention from doing nothing to doing something. So, when they are doing something, it takes a lot more time and energy and effort for them, for their brains, to switch into the task mode where they will be uh, focused into their work, where they will be uh, transitioned into a flow state. So, what is a flow state? Well, basically, it is a deep state of where it is a deep state of your mind while it's working, and it's just totally, uh, you know, when you just get into the work as a whole, and you just uh, like enjoy the work very much. You just forget the time is going very fast. You just get totally engaged, fully engaged and engrossed into it. Okay, so here people who have ADHD, there's a struggle with them, right? So they cannot transition between these periods. It takes time for them to transition from one kind of task to another kind of task. So the continuation is the problem. So in my case, as I have given the example that today I feel something, tomorrow I feel something else. So this thing also happens when you sleep. So the person who has ADHD, and when that same person goes to sleep, now that person's brain enters into the mode of sleep. Okay, and when you sleep for 8 hours, you get focused into that state of sleepiness. And when you wake up, it takes much longer time for your brain to transition back into the what wake up wake state, right? So you're still in that sleepy mode. And many of the times what happens that memories that you had before you went to sleep, they when you wake up, you kind of just forget them as a whole. For neurotypical people, what happens? They don't forget it. Generally, it is much easier for them to recall those memories and continue their life. So this is one thing with ADHD that I used to struggle. I still struggle a lot. Right. Another thing that I would like to share is that I observed today is that while the doctors were doing faster on my mom's hand, it definitely aches a bit. So I saw a drop of tear on her eyes, and I was I felt very much of empathy at that point. I don't know, I felt very emotional. I have this thing since I was a child that I when I am triggered, I am very emotionally hypersensitive. So as long as I'm not triggered, I'm not that much emotional. But once I'm triggered by any certain things, I tend to become extremely emotional to the point of, you know, where my heart sinks totally, and I just want to cry. I even came home and cried a little, probably a lot. And I don't know. I saw the pain in her eyes. It's crazy that we as people, we as kids, are now growing up. We are taking responsibilities, and now they are getting old. And yeah, it's sometimes very sorrowful, but it's a part of growth, and I think they should be happy about it. So regardless of that, so that also things happens to me. There's a biological reason behind it because the limbic system of the brain, which includes the amygdala heart of the brain and the hippocampus. So basically, there's a small almond-shaped um, part of the brain that's just look at it just at the center, just like uh, behind your forehead. Yeah. So basically, what it does is detects threat. Okay. So before the brain has any kind of so when there is a threat, a human needs to solve that threat immediately. So our biology has evolutionized in a way that our amygdala does that work for us to process that threat immediately. So if there is a threat, there is a need to act quickly, right? So the sensory uh, part of the brain, which is the cortex. So if the signal comes from your brain stem, and then it takes much longer time if it goes to the cortex for processing. So amygdala, especially specifically in case of threat detection, does that work for you. So um, so some people are actually born with a bigger sized amygdala. So these people tend to have be more cautious and more fearful and more emotionally hypersensitive. Now it is mostly biological, and it is shaped by your environment as well. Because if you're exposed to more trauma, stress, and emotionally stimulating environments, your amygdala is going to grow a lot, and you're going to become more emotionally sensitive. Right. So that thing happens to me, and that is another thing that I observed, I wanted to share, and probably I wouldn't record this video further. I wanted to speak a lot more things more, but I don't think I will be able to because I gotta go and have my dinner. If I get time, I will come back. I will make another video and upload it. And I'm not quitting, regardless of this, regardless of whatever it is. As I have told, I'm kind of practicing this gratitude journaling while I'm making this video, where I tell myself, as long as there is breath, there is hope. So as long as you're breathing, you're in a state to work. Give your 100% in that work, and I'm trying to do that as much as possible, right? And I'm not trying to judge myself very much harshly because I know I have my own flaws. Because there are a lot of things, there are a lot of problems, there are a lot of other things that needs discussion, and I will probably discuss about it in some other videos. So yeah, it's 12 minutes. Like, I don't know, man. When I just turn on the camera and I just start speaking, time just flows so quickly. I just get so engrossed into the words that I speak. Time just flows very quickly. It's already been 12 minutes, and yeah. So I will be ending the video. I will upload it, and I'll again upload one video tomorrow with some of my different thoughts about something else. So yeah, and yeah, I spent the whole day in the hospital, and I'm pretty tired. I will take some rest. Yeah, all the love and peace.